Hello and welcome to Bounding into Comics. My name is John Trent. I'm the founder and editor-in-chief at Bounding into Comics. Today I got a story about a report claiming that Disney is no longer actively developing Rangers of the New Republic. Before we get to the meat of that story, I'd like to ask if you could please hit that subscribe button if you are not already subscribed. If you are already subscribed, please make sure you are still subscribed. And then hopefully by the end of this video, you will give us a like and that you will share this with your friends and family. So let's get to this story. As I said, a new report claims that Disney and Lucasfilm are no longer actively developing their recently announced Disney Plus series, Rangers of the New Republic. This report comes from Variety writer Adam B. Vary. Vary writes, quote, "A third announced spinoff, Rangers of the New Republic, is not currently in active development," end quote. If you don't remember what Rangers of the New Republic is, Lucasfilm President Kathleen Kennedy announced the show back in December during Disney's 2020 Investor Day presentation. She said, "Today, I'm excited to share with you that John and Dave are concurrently developing two new spin-off series exclusively for Disney+. One, The Rangers of the New Republic, and the other featuring fan favorite Ahsoka Tano." She added, "Set within the timeline of The Mandalorian, these interconnected shows, along with future stories, will excite new audiences, embrace our most passionate fans, and will culminate in a climactic story event." In their press materials for Investor Day 2020, they worded it a little differently. It reads, "Set within the timeline of The Mandalorian, Rangers of the New Republic is a new live-action series from executive producers Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni that will intersect with future stories and culminate into a climactic story event." No other official details were announced about the show. Star Wars scooper Corey Van Dyke from the Kessel Run Transmissions YouTube channel claims the Rangers of the New Republic was supposed to star Cara Dune, played by Gina Carano, and Bo-Katan, played by Katie Sackhoff. He wrote on Twitter, quote, "Like we've said before, this was the Cara Dune Bo-Katan series before everything went down," end quote. Fellow scooper Bespin Bulletin also claimed the show was supposed to star Gina Carano. They wrote on Instagram, quote, "Rangers of the New Republic was announced in December alongside the Ahsoka series, with both series taking place in the Mandalorian timeline, and would ultimately lead to a large crossover event." Bespin Bulletin added, "Since the announcement, the lead of the series, Gina Carano, was let go by Lucasfilm, and this is most likely the reason why development of Rangers has come to a grinding halt." Again, to reiterate, there has been no official announcement that Carano's Cara Dune was supposed to star in the Rangers of the New Republic series. In fact, there was a report in The Hollywood Reporter following Disney's firing that implied Carano was supposed to helm the show. Aaron Couch, Tatiana Siegel, and Boris Kitt wrote in The Hollywood Reporter, quote, "The actress whose sources say made $25,000 to $50,000 per episode of The Mandalorian was poised to be touted during the presentation, in which Kathleen Kennedy announced 10 new Star Wars shows, including Rangers of the New Republic, a series that seemed tailor-made for Carano." They would cite one anonymous source that stated, quote, "She was originally in that presentation when they announced all those things, and they pulled her off of it." However, another source allegedly countered that, as Couch, Siegel, and Kitt wrote, quote, "A Lucasfilm source counters that Carano was never officially part of the December 10 presentation, and no negotiations for future work had taken place." So again, that seems to be clear that there was no official announcement that Carano's Cara Dune was supposed to star in the Rangers of the New Republic. As a reminder, Lucasfilm and Disney fired Carano through a press statement. A spokesman wrote, quote, "Gina Carano is not currently employed by Lucasfilm, and there are no plans for her to be in the future." They added, "Nevertheless, her social media posts denigrating people based on their cultural and religious identities are abhorrent and unacceptable." One of the main social media posts in question saw Carano post her Instagram stories, a screenshot of an Instagram post from Warrior Priest Jim Podcast, warning about the dangers of hating your neighbor and how it can lead to extreme violence. So not only did that Disney spokesman lie about Carano's social media posts in their initial press statement announcing she had been fired, but Disney CEO Bob Chapek doubled down on the lie during Disney's 2021 annual meeting of shareholders. When asked about Carano's firing, Chapek stated, "I don't really see Disney as characterizing itself as left-leaning or right-leaning, yet instead standing for values that are universal, values of respect, values of decency, values of integrity, and values of inclusion." He continues saying, and we seek to have not only how we operate, but the content that we make reflective of the rich diversity of the world we live. And I think that's a world we all should live in harmony and peace, end quote. It's clear Disney does not actually embrace those values given how they treated Carano. They disrespected her and showed no decency by firing her through a press statement. And they clearly showed no integrity by lying about her social media posts. And clearly they don't value inclusion, as it appears her opinions on social media were the cause of her firing. Regardless of whether or not Carano was supposed to star in Rangers of the New Republic, if this report from Variety is true, the fact that the show is no longer in active development means Lucasfilm's plans for The Mandalorian are definitely changing. Remember, the show is supposed to lead up to a climactic event. One has to wonder if that climactic event is also off the table, and how taking Rangers out of active development affects the other Mandalorian-centric shows like The Mandalorian, Ahsoka, and Book of Boba Fett. It's hard not to imagine that Lucasfilm is in complete chaos, given they have taken a show out of active development less than 6 months after they announced it as a gem in their Disney Plus portfolio. Also, remember, the show is supposed to intersect with future stories and culminate in that climactic story event. So if Rangers of the New Republic is now out of active development, one has to wonder how that intersection is still going to play out. Truly, they have to be in utter chaos. And if indeed the show is supposed to star Carano, it coming out of active development seems to indicate the rumors of Carano returning are just that, rumors, and there's nothing to them. However, it could mean that there was something to those rumors, and that Disney was talking to Carano, and she told them to take a hike, or negotiations fell through because maybe she was asking way too much, whether that was in a monetary sum or she wanted Disney to publicly apologize and which they rightfully should do, and admit that they were wrong in firing her and then publicly lying about her, and then Chapek publicly lying again about Disney's values, which they clearly do not embrace. But what do you make of this report that Rangers of the New Republic is no longer in active development? What do you think it means for The Mandalorian? And do you even care at all about Star Wars anymore? Let me know. My name is John Trent, and you've been watching Bounding Into Comics.